A very warm hello to everyone watching. My name is Meganka Singh. I've been selected for West Bengal Revenue Service in WBCS 2021. And in this platform and the opportunity given to me by APTI PLUS, today we are going to discuss in this video the previous year questions pattern, the weightage that has been given to different subjects, and the expected, you can say pattern, that expected questions that can come in your examination in the preliminary that is scheduled to be on 16th of December, right? So first and foremost, I think whenever we are starting our preparation, right, for WBCS, the most important aspect of this examination is understanding the trend and pattern of questions. Nothing is more important than this. So preparation should start with analyzing the previous year questions, right? You understand the trend of the questions. You understand the jodi ami ekta topic porechi, for example, freedom struggle, the type of questions that are coming, right? A number of times there has been repetition of the topics or the questions, right? And also ki hoy a discussion previous year questions and analysis ta korle, you understand that in what approach should you be taking on, the approach that you should be taking on before your preparation or while you're taking a particular topic, right? Once you know the type of questions that are coming in, you know that আমি কোন দিকে পড়াশোনাটা করলে আমার maximum আমার potentialটা utilize হবে সেখানে, right? You have to increase your chances of being selection. You have to increase your chances of selection, right? And that can only happen if you not only study diligently but also study smartly, right? Now, previous year discussion, we will see that there are a few sections, right? That we'll go section by section. Section 1 is English section, right? Just a minute. Right? The English section that comes in, right? So, ekhane grammar portion is the one, and trust me, you can only achieve good marks in this section by repeated you can say practicing of this part. And it is very easy if you know the pattern of questions. If you know the pattern of questions, if you know kothay theke basic questions asche, it's very easy. 20 marks or 25 marks er ekhane part thake, you can aramse score 18 out of this if you've practiced well, if you've done mock test and you've done mock test and previous year questions, right? It is easy to get 18 out of this 25, right? Especially in grammar section, odd one out, error detection, and fill in the blanks question ashe. Beshibhag ei section you will focus on the grammar based exception rules, right? It is the most asked question from this section, right? 10 to 15 marks are expected to score easily, and you can by repeated practicing you can take it to 18, right? And also if this is your strength, if you have a good grasp on this subject, you can also score more than this. Now, current affairs again a very scoring part. If you have been doing current affairs every day, right, for the past 1 year, if you've been following current affairs, current events, right, then it is very easy to score. Direct questions ashe ekhane, right? Now, questions are asked dynamically, so there's nothing that people can say you that eta pore jao, right? You study this 50 odd pages and you will get 25 questions. There's nothing set. This cannot be very well predicted in case of current affairs, right? Because it has been a very dynamic topic for the preliminary of WBCS. The current events ke follow korbe. For example, ekon World Cup cholche, right? So you can always expect questions from the World Cup. Where is the next World Cup going to be held? Now, who was the last winner? Now, the kind of records that were broken during this World Cup, what were the major events that occurred during this World Cup, the mascot, the theme of the theme song, who has written it, who has sung it. These kind of questions can always come in. So, for example, this World Cup, Virat Kohli breaking the record of Sachin Tendulkar. So they can always ask you who was the last record keeper of this particular laurel that was achieved. These kind of questions. Then G20 was recently held in India, right? Now, important points from G20. What is G20? The basic of G20. What was the theme of this event? Who were the dignitaries present? where did it take place, the different mascot, the different people who were took place in it, the different events that were designed across India for G20. These kind of questions can always be expected, right? Then questions from FIFA World Cup, then different kinds of awards, right? Nobles, the laurels, especially awards like Jnanpith awards, they are often asked, right? Nobel prizes, then different kind of books, good books that were written, Booker's Prize, Pulitzer's Prize, these kind of events, just keep a note of these, right? Then different pageants, beauty pageants that took place, where it occurred, who won it, tennis থেকে অনেকবার question জিজ্ঞেস করেছে, right? Then the next is history. I think the most important section of the whole preliminary is history. History থেকে এবার ancient, medieval take place for 25 marks, correct? এখান থেকে 25 marks, সেখানেও অনেকটা ancient থেকে they ask you a few minimum question, later Mughals, these are the parts where medieval থেকে আসে, right? Vijayanagar Empire, এখান থেকে questions গুলো usually আসে. Then modern, এখান থেকে freedom struggle is very, very important. Maximum question in history is asked from freedom struggle, right? Freedom struggle থেকে, and then the pattern of questions also you have to keep in mind. The question being asked, কবে enacted হয়েছিল, when was it adopted, you have to understand the difference between the words that is given in the question. Adopted, enacted, enabled, right? The articles which were enabled during this, that. So you have to focus, you have to be aware of the questions, and this can only happen if you've done previous year questions. So in the examination hall itself, at the spot, it is very difficult to grasp things at that point. If you've already done previous year questions, right, then it becomes a lot easier. You know that হ্যাঁ এইভাবে প্যাটার্নে জিজ্ঞেস করে, আমি জানি কোন দিকে আনসারটা হতে চলেছে, correct? Then for example, এটা শুধু আমার জন্য আমি আমারটা লিখেছি, it can vary for individual to individual. I did freedom struggle from Spectrum. I think it is one book, more compactly এখানে সবকিছু দেয়া রয়েছে. It is a very good book. If you're following anything else, I think it will always do good. Now, around 35 to 40 expected from freedom struggle, right? And modern history and later Mughals. So I hope you focus on these parts. Next is, okay. Next is polity and economy. Now, polity and economy together comprises of 25 marks, correct? Now, polity and economics ki ache, you cannot start now. You cannot take up, if you've not done anything from polity and economics, you cannot start now. I will say don't start now. The maximum that you can do if you've not touched polity and economics is go through the previous year question. Just go through the question, see the answers, and just learn it up, right? But concept-based questions, I think if you've not done anything, if you're not very well aware of economics right now, do not go into it just yet, okay? Because it will only make things more difficult and more, it will only make you more nervous right now. Now, don't start to study in depth now. Whatever has been done, all right? Now is the time for revision. You are not supposed to start any new topic just now, okay? So around 25 marks is expected from it. Now, questions pertaining to Constituent Assembly should be given more priority. Always a few questions are there from Constituent Assembly, the number of members, first session, right? Then these kind of questions, when was it adopted, the first meeting, how many members present, where did it take place, is very important. Whose idea was it, all right? These kind of questions always gets often repeated. Next is fundamental rights, DPSP, are asked regularly, always, and fundamental duties. Different article numbers, right? Article 40 te ki, 51 e ki, right? These kind of questions, again, Gram Panchayat kon article theke esche, right? The idea of then DPSP theke, what kind of, how many DPSPs are there, or what are its classification? These kind of questions are always present. Now, polity te amra shobai jani Lakshmikant, right, is the best book that you have. Lakshmikanter ended dike dekhbe, the articles are given, right? I used to mark the articles which are most important and most often asked. Shekhan theke I used to keep revising regularly, okay? that is one way. And again আবার বলছি নতুন করে ইকোনমিক্স এখন স্টার্ট করার প্রয়োজন নেই. If you've not done economics, I would suggest don't start studying economics just yet, because আরো অনেক কিছু আছে, right? And just think of doing a smart work, right? যদি এখন economics, if you give 10 days, you have only 30 days in hand, right? If you give 10 days to economics right now, because সেটা থেকে কমে আমার মনে হয় না হবে যারা কিছুই স্টার্ট করনি, ঠিক আছে? Or you can bring it down to 7 days, for example. Giving it 7 days for about 15 marks, 10 to 12 marks, which is also not, you can say, not standard. Because 25 marks is from both polity and economics, right? So you do not know kontar beshi hobe. So I would suggest work on your strength. Do smart working and don't get nervous. Obviously, puro question paper, it is not possible that you will know everything. They're not even expecting you. It is a screening test. You have to score above the cutoff. So যেটা জানো সেটার উপরে আমার মনে হয় সেটার উপরে বেস করে নিজের প্রিপারেশনটা করো এখন, রাইট? ওয়ার্ক অন ইয়োর স্ট্রেংথ, মেক ইয়োর স্ট্রেংথ ইভেন মোর স্ট্রঙ্গার রাইট নাও. ডোন্ট স্টার্ট সামথিং দ্যাট ইউ আর নট অ্যাওয়্যার অফ, অর কয়েকটা জিনিস আছে যেটা হয়তো ফেলে রেখেছিলে যে এটা পরের দিকে পড়বো, দ্যাট ইজ আ ডিফারেন্ট থিং. দ্যাট হয়তো ইকোনমিক্স আর ফিউ টপিকস ইউ থট দ্যাট এখন মনে থাকবে না, এটা পরের দিকে পড়বো, দ্যাট ইজ ডিফারেন্ট. দ্যাট ইউ ডান অল অফ ইট, কয়েকটা জিনিস বাকি আছে, সো ইউ গিভ 2 days and you're done. That is a different thing. But starting a new topic altogether, starting a new subject altogether is not advised at right now, at least from my side. Okay. Now, next, geography theke, right? Geography questions come from India plus West Bengal, right? West Bengal er jonno ekta specific boi ache geography, right? I used to follow that, especially the kind of dams present, on which river it is present, right? Then district headquarters, কতগুলো district আছে, the last district that was formed, when was it formed, right? Then geography থেকে census based questions. Now census based question দুটো data আছে আমাদের কাছে, 2001 and 2011. The last one 2011, they can be a comparison question. Sex ratio কোনটায় বেশি ছিল, কতটা বেড়েছে 2001 এর last census এ, right? So these questions also, when you're studying census based question, make a comparative study. রাইট? শুধু মার্ক আপ করবে না, মেক আ কম্পারেটিভ স্টাডি যে 2001 এ কি ডেটা ছিল সেটা 2011 এ কিভাবে চেঞ্জ হয়েছে, নাও কিভাবে চেঞ্জ হয়েছে সেটা করে তারপরে স্টেট বেসড কোয়েশ্চেন অলসো ক্যান বি সেন্সাস বেসড, রাইট? লাইক ডিস্ট্রিক্ট কোনটা, কোন ডিস্ট্রিক্টে সবচেয়ে বেশি লিটারেসি রেট, কোনটাতে লোয়েস্ট, সেক্স রেশিও কতটা, কোন মানে what is the most populous district. These kind of questions, right? These data based questions, fact based questions often get asked, right? Dams and rivers, most important question, right? The kind of dams present and what kind of rivers flow from which district, the names of the rivers, which is the mouth, which is the source, and where is it flowing to, which part of the state is it flowing to, the length of it, the tributaries, right bank, left bank. এগুলো করে geography question গুলো I think is quite easy if you know. If you know it, it is, if you go through it revision করার সময় also, it becomes very easier. Not very difficult questions are asked from geography. Okay. Now bordering states, right? West Bengal এর bordering states কি কি আছে, কতগুলো আছে, একবার এই কোয়েশ্চেনটা জিজ্ঞেস করেছিল, how many states border, তারপর না international borders কোন কোন স্টেটে আছে, right? These kind of questions. Now science again is a subject I think which cannot be suddenly started. You cannot just say that আজকে আমি সায়েন্স পড়বো বলে আজকে শুরু করে দিলাম. Okay. Science is, there's no specific pattern that is followed in preliminary, at least, that কোথায় থেকে physics, chemistry, bio মানে কোনো সেরকম proportionate division নেই, right? So it is a very unpredictable pattern that is followed in science, and basic science knowledge is necessary. Sorry, I think that হিউম্যানিটিজ এর স্টুডেন্ট অর যারা কমার্স পড়েছো, রাইট, তাদের জন্য সায়েন্স একটু টাইম দিতে হবে সেটাকে, বিকজ নট ভেরি ইজি কোয়েশ্চেন্স আর আস্কড. The questions from chemistry, biology এখান থেকে যেগুলো জিজ্ঞেস করে, they are quite difficult. So you have to have that basic knowledge on science. Now next we have mathematics. Now mathematics e ki hoy, you have to solve the previous year questions for practice along with CGL and mains question. Okay. I'm so sorry for the pause. Now, mathematics nowadays, the trend has been the questions are not very easy to solve. Class 10 base করে question solve করলে হবে না. All right. So you have to have practice. I think this is the best way to practice. Mains এর questions গুলো ধরবে, and practice is most necessary. Also last moment এর জন্য রাখবে না. Don't say that last 10 দিনে আমি ম্যাথসটা ধরবো বা last 10 দিনে ম্যাথসটা করে নেবো, right? Because always remember, you have to keep a number of things in mind. You have to make a lot of things. To score 135 plus, right? শুধু একটা কিছু করলে হবে না. You have to have grasp on everything. So you can leave maybe a few topics which you're not comfortable in, but you cannot leave a number of topics. And remember, maths যেটা হচ্ছে সেটা not only for maths but all the other যেগুলো আমরা discuss করেছি section wise, right? I think that solving previous year questions, 10 to 15 years questions, as well for prelims plus mains se ja question is, right? Take up 10 to 12 10 to 15 years previous year questions for both prelims and mains, solve them, right? Then you will get a good number of questions, right? একটা ভালো মতন কোয়েশ্চেন তোমার আইডিয়াও হয়ে যাবে যে কিভাবে কোয়েশ্চেন্স আসে কোন পার্টিকুলার টপিকে. And lastly, I would conclude this session by telling you that prepare in such a way now, right? Make your preparations in such a way that once you come out of the examination hall, right, you're very well confident that I will cross the cutoff. So এইভাবে করে এখন থেকে preparation করো, because once you come out of the examination hall, you can do nothing except worrying, right? Then nothing is in your hand. What you have in these few days is in your hand. How you use these couple of weeks will depend on how you utilize them. Okay, so work on your strength and just work on your strength, and all the best to all of you. I hope this session helped you, and thank you for watching.